I wish I was you. I wish I was you. Yes, but it's like that for work for me right now.
Good
I'm
stress.
working like 12-hour days, so
Oh no, that's too much.
yeah, I know. So we're going live now. We are live now. Hi, everyone. This is Andy Arias, and I'm with my friend and amazing actor, Verton Banks. I don't know if it's a relation to Tyra, but I don't think so.
No,
But but we could just leave it at that. Um, but is it though, Verton?
no, no.
That'd be amazing. I'd be like, no wonder you know how to smize. Um, so for Chan, I have to just to shout out to you and who you are and all the amazing work you do.
Oh, thank
Can
you.
you give us just like a 10-second rundown on your most not famous shows, but your most high profile appearances on television?
I'll say notable. How about
Yes,
notable? Yes. Hi. Well, first, thank you for having me on the
of
show. Thank you so
course.
much. So some of my favorites, HBO's Getting On. I think that's one of the highlights that I've of shows I worked on with Laurie Metcalf and Niecy Nash and Alex Borstein. Um,
I love all those people, by the way. I like they're my spirit animals. Yeah.
um, a while ago, ER, and I love that show as well. I recently rewatched it on Hulu. Recently, Dollface with Kat Dennings. I play her landlord.
Bring him back. Hey.
Yeah, yes, bring me back. And most recently, 911 with Miss Angela Bassett.
Ooh, can we dive into that one for a quick minute? You broke some ground on that show, and I don't even think you knew that you broke ground, okay? Because you were black, gay, disabled, like you were it on that show. And I saw you for the first 2 seconds. I saw you, and I was like, gonna watch it all the way through to see my Verton. And you were did there, and you had, no offense, but you had one of the best scenes because
Thank
you were so sassy and so real. Like it was just like I don't know what happened to her. Who cares? Like I was like that.
I did really love. I really love the line actually. Like the writer of the episode, Nadia Boss. She was great, and she wrote some great kind of like just like little zingy kind of like lines that I kind of like love.
You read through those, like I mean, I've had those experiences where I have an audition or I'm on set and I really resonate with the line and it was just like I heard it. I was like, "Ooh, he's got
When I
that."
did the audition, I was like, oh, that's it. That was the reading.
That's so cool. No, it was so good. And now you're in the Ryan Murphy universe, so I'm really like I'm just, I'm waiting to ride those coattails is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be like, listen, my friend Berton is starring on that show, so I'm just gonna call him up and be like, "What's up?" Um, oh, that's my alarm. Sorry. Because I set our alarm for later and then it went off. So I love that show. So because I did some research and I was like, what has there ever been an LGBTQ minority with a disability on a show? And I guess you could count Ryan Hadid, right? Because he's not white per se, but he
Yeah,
he calls himself white. My friend Ryan, who's on the Politician on Netflix, but he
yeah.
doesn't play gay characters. So I'm like, I think Verton's it. I think you broke some ground. Of like, I just want to acknowledge that for my audience because y-
I didn't
yeah.
really think about it that way. I did know like that there are several like black LGBT couples on the show.
Hmm. I
Um,
gotta start watching it now because now you got me
because
interested.
I think um, we're like the third ones because there are two of the series regulars.
Oh, okay, so they might bring you back if you're friends with the I'm just saying I'm saying you need another gay neighbor. Hey, no, right? I'm like, there you go. Um, I really love the fact that you are super humble. Like you are one of the hardest working people that I know of
No.
in Hollywood. And you're working, you're like editing an audition right now, and you're going to jump right back into another one after we end this interview. But your humbleness in approaching people and just being open, where does that come from? What would you say?
I don't know. I think that just comes from how I grew up and with my family because
Hmm.
I don't know. There's just something you want to help people, be a good person.
I think there's a lot of bougie people in Hollywood, and I mean, I know several bougie people, and I only know a handful of good intentioned people doing good work, but also humble, right? Like they think that their work matters, but also that other people matter. And I think that's really great about you. A year ago, you did my film, The Unicorn Closet, and you didn't need to do that. You could have been like, listen, that's like low budget somewhere. And if it ends up in obscurity, I ain't going to be a part of that. But you didn't. You were so thoughtful and I just really appreciate it. 'Cause I
Oh,
didn't know
it's
you were
my
a celebrity until I looked you up, though. Like, I didn't know.
I'm not a celebrity.
You are, though, in my eyes, in my view, yes.
I'm just a working actor.
Hardworking actor, that's for sure. If you could do a dream role, because you work a lot, if you could do a dream role for yourself, if somebody said, "Here's $2 million for Tom Banks, make a movie," what would you make?
That's always a tough question
Yeah?
because I also write, so I have things that I write that I ultimately want produced.
When you know where to find a gay boy on wheels. Where? Oh, what? Oh, hi. No, I'm kidding.
but it's no, there are just so many. I've never really thought about it other than the stuff that I'm writing.
Mhm.
Hmm, I don't know. It's such a tough. It's a difficult question.
What would you wanna do first? Like, what would be the first, like, funded project for, like, a $2 million budget you would wanna do? Not your
I
yeah.
always love the singer Sylvester. Um,
Ooh.
I don't have the ability to sing at all in that way,
Yeah.
but I do believe that I would love well, I would love to make a film about them, about Sylvester with, Alex Newell, because I think Alex just has this ability, and it would just be something that would just Alex would just shine in.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, Alex, I don't know you, but we're gonna put it out in the universe, make it happen, because they could
Alex
always get they could
Alex now is on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, but they were also in Glee,
yes,
and
yeah,
Once Upon
on
the
a
Island, Once Upon This Island? Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say Once Upon a Time, I'm like, I don't remember him in that one.
Once on This Island, that's it.
Okay, once on this island. So that's great. I think it will happen for you because I don't know how old you are and don't disclose, but you said ER, so I was thinking in my head, wait a minute, I was a baby when that like I was trying to think when that happened,
There's
but
yeah.
yeah.
There's also a lot of interesting stories about my hometown of Vallejo, just about, um
Where did you grow up? I have no
I
idea.
I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area in a
Oh,
town called
really?
Vallejo.
Oh, very cool.
It's
Oh,
27 miles north of San Francisco. Right now, there's a Six Flags that's there, but
mm,
there was a naval shipyard, Mare Island, and um, my grandfather was a person that was instrumental in getting equality um, in occupations in the federal government because he worked
wow.
at Mare Island and along with 20 other individuals, the Mare Island 21, they sued the federal government because they were overlooking all of the black workers for promotions.
Well, now we're
And
still working
people
on equality in the federal government. Let me tell you,
still
hey.
working.
Yeah,
But
I'm
he,
the unicorn in the federal government, or I like to say. Um, this brings me to a great segue.
yeah,
It's Black History Month,
yeah,
and there's so many powerful images and people within that
yeah.
like arena. If you wanted to go down in history for impact, power, or anything, what would you want to go down in history for? In like 100 years, what would you want Verton Banks to be remembered for?
Just as a person that helped people,
Oh
that
my
helped something
goodness.
that yeah, nothing grand or anything because I don't think, but I do think that what we do is very powerful and it helps people
Mm.
immensely and changes the world in these small little ways. But they're powerful.
Wow, I think that's lovely. I think that you will change the world. And if you do anything huge, I will brag about you. I
Thank
feel like
you.
I brag about all your stuff now. I can just imagine when you're winning your
Thank you.
Oscar or your Emmy, I'm gonna be like, Berton,
Thank you.
remember back in 2020 where you were doing one project for me?
You are amazing, Andy, and I completely support you all the time. I'm your biggest champion out here.
Thank you. Thank you. I know you have
I
other
email everyone
auditions to
your
do.
fill.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I know you have other stuff that you're doing tonight. So I just wanted to say thank you
Thank
for
you. If you
jumping
have me,
on.
I'll come back for a longer time.
Yes, you will, because my fans love you. They're like, "Where's Verton?" But I'll let you go for now.
Thank you.
All right,
Take care.
bye.
Bye.
So everyone, we're still live, and I definitely want to um show with everyone that Bertrand is a really amazing actor, and there's so many actors with disabilities out there that also are amazing. Tatiana Lee, George Stevies is a great one. Angela Rockwood. I have to tell you a story about Angela and I met Angela in an acting class for people with disabilities, and it was meeting her, meeting Auntie, meeting my friend Toby Forrest, who's also an amazing actor, my friend Lexi, um, all of those amazing people. They made me believe that I could do acting, that I could do it for myself. And I don't think that without them being my network and my support system, that would have happened. So I love them, I appreciate them, they're very very important to me, and I just think that like it's really 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 important to think about representation in the media, and not just representation, right? It's not just super important to bring somebody on with a disability on your TV show. It's now 2021. It's time that we start thinking about intersectionality of folks, about what it would be like to hire a disabled Latino, uh, individual, um, a disabled Latino gay individual. My friend Danny Gomez. He's an up and comer Latino disabled individual. So I think that now is the time to start hiring, start pushing those individuals through. I mean, how hard is it to put one of us behind a desk or on a bench or in the morgue, right? Or starring on your show? It's not that hard. I think that there's a misnomer in our world that says people with disabilities would be hard to cast, and they would be a struggle, and it would be difficult, and people would have challenges. But I think the only challenge there is perception, right? And being able to shift our perception so we don't think that way anymore. And I honestly think the change is going to happen when we invite writers, directors, showrunners, like my friend Tati reminded me of, to the table for them to tell their own stories, for them to push forward. I've been producing my own content for years. So, for those that don't know, I've been whoring myself, I mean, hustling, yikes, hustling myself out in Hollywood for over 10 years. I went to DC because the castings and opportunities weren't there at the time. And I took a job in DC. I really loved my policy job. I think it's important, but I also miss the opportunity to perform and act, right? I think it's really important, and I've cultivated opportunities for myself in that arena, but I've never hit like pay dirt, right? Like, I've never gotten a starring role. I've never gone a guest star. And those are things that I really want to get. I do a lot of commercial, I do a lot of interesting, fun things, but I think that people just don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And so I'm here to share that if you don't know what you don't know, then it's okay. Then let us help you, let us teach you. Um, as you can tell, I'm Latino, right? I'm a Latino person with a disability, and I am proudly Latino. That wasn't always the case, because so many images of disability that I saw were of people that were lighter skinned, that were white, that were not me, not my color, not my complexion. And I think it's really important to highlight um, individuals and people with disabilities in front of and behind the camera. It's so important. I know we're changing. I know the image of disability is changing, but it's too slow. I don't know how young I can look like this. I mean, it's been, all my friends say my face doesn't change. There's a reason for that. I'm waiting for my guest star role. I'm waiting for my starring role. I'm waiting for, my own TV show. And once that's over, I can let all this. No, I'm kidding. I would never. I would never. I'm gay. I can't have wrinkles. It's not allowed. But I really do. I can't wait to see myself represented on TV. Ryan Hadid and Ryan O'Connell are doing it. Are doing it well, and they're representing their aspects of disability. But again, it's through that white lens, right? It's through that perspective. And I think the Latino and African American and Black and however you marginalize your community, our stories are different, right? Our stories are are not the same. And I don't want people to think they are. And Danny and probably Tati, you can agree. And my friend Tamara, Tamara Mena, she is hustling out there too. There's so many. There's over 3,000 actors that I know with disabilities, and only a handful of them get opportunity. And so it's really unfortunate. And I happen to be not in that handful of those, but I'm looking to change that. That's why I came to back to LA, because I want to put my stank on the entertainment industry, just like I have in policy. And that's why I'm going after casting directors myself. I'm going after gay directors and producers, and going outside the box of disability, because maybe they'll take a chance on me, on someone like me, and want to cast me. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked to share my story, and yet they want my story to be told by a non-disabled person. And I think that it's really, 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 really unfair that that happens, but it happens all the time. So I'm so appreciative of Verton Banks's time. He's an amazing actor, and if you guys haven't checked out the Unicorn Closet, please do. I'll share the link below. Um, it's just time, people. It's time. It's 2021. It's time for us to work. It's time for our voices to be heard. I have seen a shift in casting. So I have seen a shift in the way people cast their projects and the way people view disability. I have seen that little shift, that little paradigm, but it's slow, right? It's slow. And like me, I mean, I want my shot, I want my time, I want my moment in the sun, per se. um I think I'm interesting. All my friends think I'm interesting. All my friends think I'm hilarious. They don't understand why I'm not having my own Netflix special or my own show, because everything I say is horribly inappropriate and really funny. Um, so I'm putting that into the universe on this Wednesdays with Andy, and maybe a casting director will see this and say, hey, that bitch isn't the prettiest one in the bunch, but he's cute and he's funny, and I could use him in my show. Because opportunity begets opportunity, right? So the more opportunities one gets, the more they're seen, and the more they're seen, the more they're heard, and the more they're heard, the more relevancy they have, and the more power they have. And the power, here's the power, right? Here's the power that I'm talking about, the power to change. I want the power to change. I want the power to influence, to impact others. Not power as in like I want it all for me, but in the fact that I want to have an impact on the world so it changes the view for other people. And I think that it's not about fame for me, it's about relevance. And I want to be relevant and I want to be impactful. And so that's different. That's a different context that a lot of people don't understand. But I really appreciate you guys. How do you like the new logo? You see the wait, I gotta learn my on Zoom. Wait, the logo's here. You like the new logo? Do you like my bling though, really? Angela Rockwood does. I'm not married, don't worry. So anybody that's single that's watching this, you better hit me up. Just kidding. So guys, thank you so much for paying attention. Not kidding about the last joke. Thank you so much for tuning in, paying attention, being aware, helping me move the needle. Just so you guys know, I will be putting all of the Facebook Lives or Wednesdays with Andy on YouTube, starting its own YouTube channel. And Verton might be the first interview. Who knows? But I'll start putting that up soon, and you guys can check it out. I really appreciate my audience. If you guys have any questions for me whatsoever, please send them to me in the chat box, because I could not see them and I want to reply to them. I want to respond. I want to be mindful of everything that's happening with everyone. All right, guys, take care. I love you. I think I forgot.